Here are 20 reasons why Raleigh, North Carolina is the best city in the state and possibly your next place to live. 1. Raleigh has a small city feel, but it's actually a decent sized metroplex. Between Raleigh and Durham, there's about 2 to 2.5 million people, so there's plenty of things to do, plenty of people to meet and hang out with, but you also are surrounded by nature, which makes everything feel a little more secluded, a little more spread out. So you get a fair mix of parks and trails and lakes, but then you also have plenty to do in downtown. It's like the perfect mix between New York and the middle of nowhere, Iowa. Number 2, it's really easy to keep an active lifestyle here in the Raleigh area because we have so many forests and parks and state parks and lakes and rivers and trails. You'll basically never run out of things to do outside. We also have very temperate weather throughout the year, so no matter what time of year it is, you can go outside and do some sort of physical activity. I love that. I came from Texas where it was usually too hot half of the year to go outside and really stay active, and that was something that I felt I was missing from my life and something that I found here in Raleigh. Number 3, our cost of living is relatively low. We are just on par with the national average, in fact, a little bit below of it. And the biggest thing when it comes to cost of living here is our real estate market. So if you're able to find affordable housing by going to different parts of Raleigh or on the outskirts, then it could be really affordable here for you. And so this makes it a great spot for young professionals, but also retirees coming from somewhere more expensive, like we get a lot of Californians. Number 4 on the list is our education system. Families love it here because we have such high quality education in both our primary schools, all the way up to our secondary schools. So we have 3 top tier universities. That's Duke University, which pretty much everyone's heard of, University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, and University of North Carolina, or UNC State. These are all 3 prestigious colleges which people are very happy to send their kids to, but no matter what grade your kids are in, or if you plan to have kids in the future, you're gonna love our education system here. And so that leads us into number 5, which is that Raleigh is a super family-friendly place. Because we're affordable, because we have great schools, because there's plenty to do inside and out, you're gonna love raising your kids here. Number 6, if you're looking for a job in the area, maybe you need one to move here, then you will be pleasantly surprised with our job market. We are one of the fastest growing job markets, especially when it comes to tech and healthcare and research. We have the nation's largest research park called Research Triangle Park, and on average, people make more money here despite the cost of living being about par with the national average. And so it's no surprise that number 7, we are one of the top cities that young professionals are moving to, and just across the board, we are one of the fastest growing cities in the US right now. We are now 4 years post-COVID, and we are still seeing excellent appreciation, and that's because we are such a fast-growing city. We have so much demand as people flux into the state that it's only going to grow our house prices over time. Number 9 on the list, I want to touch on our access to nature because this was a really big reason as to why me and my wife moved here from Texas. We felt like we were missing out on the opportunity to look at trees everywhere you go and to go on all these nice hikes with moderate temperatures. So when it comes to our nature, we are 2.5 hours from the mountains and 2 hours from the ocean. So my wife loves the beach, I love the mountains. This was a win-win for both of us. And in the city and surrounding areas, there's several major lakes that you can go to. There's natural rivers and plenty of parks on basically every corner for you or your kiddos to go play at. We're about halfway through here, and I just want to thank you for sticking around. Make sure you watch to the end because there's plenty of other good reasons that you should definitely know about moving to Raleigh. And if you're in the area or thinking about relocating here, you want help finding a home for you and your family, make sure you click the link in the description to set up a free consultation, or you can just call the number below and talk with me and my team today. Number 10, when we look at the statistics, Raleigh is below the national average when it comes to how much crimes are committed. So based on those statistics, Raleigh is a safer city than maybe the national average city would be. So many families love that. They want to have that peace of mind for themselves or maybe for their children. I would encourage you to do more research on your own, looking into crime statistics. Plenty of free websites out there with data for you to look into. Number 11 is the North Carolina State Fair. And yes, that's a micro reason for loving Raleigh, but we are the state's capital, so we have access to certain events. So we have the state fair, which is super cool to go to. We also have the state farmers market. Super cool. If you're visiting in the area or new to Raleigh, definitely check it out. It's open every day of the year, Monday through Sunday, so definitely be sure to go check that out. There's plenty of vendors selling local produce and other sorts of goods. It's just a super cool experience that we get to have here in Raleigh. 13, we have lower traffic congestion than other cities. So again, when we look at national averages, we are below that national average of traffic congestion. I will say, coming from Texas, where there's constant construction, it's a much bigger metroplex. It feels so much better driving here in Raleigh. I can get practically anywhere in about 10-15 minutes, no more than a 30-minute drive. When in Dallas, I was used to driving 30 to usually an hour to get anywhere. I could sit in traffic for an hour just to get somewhere that's 30 minutes away. Not so the case here. And when comparing directly to places like Charlotte in North Carolina, our traffic does rank better as well, and that's just something to keep in mind. Number 14 on the list, we talked about how healthcare is a big sector here. Well, we have access to top quality healthcare systems. No surprise. Most people aren't moving solely for the healthcare, but having access to top providers like Duke Healthcare, UNC Healthcare is super important, and there's always convenient locations sprinkled throughout the triangle so that you always have quick access when you need it. Number 15 on the list, Raleigh is a hub for performance and art. We have a lot of museums sprinkled throughout the area that you can go to, most of them for free. If you hop over into Durham, then it's a lot more artsy. You can partake in a lot of really cool events there as well. For example, the North Carolina Museum of Art maintains one of the top premier public displays of art in the Southeast. That's definitely a place that you should check out if you're visiting. Number 16, Raleigh is known for its spirit of innovation. Many startups come to the Triangle because of our access to tech and healthcare, and they choose this as kind of a minor Silicon Valley in order to start and fund their startups. We see a lot of that going on in the area, and if you're looking to work for a startup and you don't want to pay California prices, consider coming here. Number 17 on the list, go Canes. We love sports here in the Raleigh area. We're a big Hurricanes, which is our hockey team, fan, and they play locally in the Raleigh area near downtown. Walkable, tickets are reasonably priced. It's always a fun time. But we also have access to Duke games. They put on some amazing basketball games. Duke recently just played against UNC, and UNC actually took them out, which was so shocking. We got a good sports scene going on here, y'all. You're definitely gonna love that. Number 18, we have a very walkable city. Just in general, we have trails and bike paths everywhere. Our downtown is super walkable at that. Parking is usually free if you go on nights and weekends. And if one downtown isn't enough for you, we actually have another downtown called North Hills near the north side of Raleigh. Up and coming, there's a lot of really cool businesses there that you can walk around, go shopping at, hang out with some friends. And if you get bored, then you can go into Durham and do some walking there. Point is, we got a walkable city. Number 19, if you move to Raleigh, then you'll figure out what type of people live in Raleigh. And what I mean is friendly people, hospitable people. It feels like you're in the South with that Southern charm, even though we're not that South and we're an East Coast kind of state, but that's kind of the vibe you'll get here in Raleigh. I personally really like it. You'll even see it in our real estate, a lot of Southern, historic looking homes. And a little bonus here, if you're wondering how the politics are, my experience has been that people are pretty level-headed with that. I mean, whether you're Republican or Democrat, you'll probably fit in just fine here. Number 20, the reason that I think you should move to Raleigh, North Carolina is because if you do, I will personally buy you a cup of coffee, give you a hug, shake your hand, and help you find your dream home. Okay, so this was kind of a throwaway, but if you liked reasons 1 through 19, then use reason number 20 as your motivation to come check out the area for a weekend, bring your family. I'd love to meet with you, seriously, buy you a cup of coffee and show you around. My goal here with the channel is to give you just a glimpse into what life in Raleigh is really like. I hope that this video has done that for you. If you are interested in buying a home here, or you want to learn more about the area, call the number down below or click the link in the description. And for more videos, check out one of these next.